Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone else had it all figured out? The friend who always seems confident, the coworker who never makes mistakes, the person on social media whose life looks perfect. And then there's you, second guessing yourself, replaying every awkward conversation, wondering if you're good enough. The truth is, most of us spend years trying to become someone we're not because we're convinced that's what success looks like. This is the story of someone who learned the opposite. Ethan wasn't the smartest person in the room. He wasn't the most talented. He wasn't naturally confident. If anything, he was the guy who overthought everything. Before sending a simple text message, he'd read it 5 times. Before speaking in a meeting, he'd rehearse the sentence in his head until someone else said it first. Whenever he made a mistake, no matter how small, he'd carry it around for days. He believed that if he could just become better, more confident, more polished, more successful, then maybe people would finally respect him. So he tried. He watched videos about confidence. He copied successful people's habits. He changed the way he dressed. He changed the way he talked. He even laughed at jokes he didn't find funny because he wanted people to like him. From the outside, it looked like he was improving. But inside, he was exhausted. Every day felt like acting in a movie where he didn't even know his own character anymore. One evening, after another stressful day at work, Ethan met his grandfather for coffee. His grandfather had spent 40 years as a mechanic. He never became famous. He never made millions. But everyone in town respected him. As they sat together, Ethan admitted something he'd never told anyone. "I feel like I'm constantly trying to prove that I'm enough." His grandfather smiled. Then he asked a question Ethan would never forget. "Enough for who?" Ethan didn't have an answer. After a long pause, his grandfather leaned back and said, "You know, people trusted me with their cars for decades, not because I never made mistakes. I made plenty. They came back because I admitted them, fixed them, and kept my word." Then he looked Ethan in the eyes. "People don't expect perfection. They expect honesty." Those words stayed with Ethan long after they finished their coffee. The next Monday, something unexpected happened. During an important meeting, Ethan made a mistake while presenting a report. Normally, he would have panicked. He would have blamed the numbers, made excuses, or stayed quiet and hoped nobody noticed. Instead, he took a deep breath. "I'm sorry," he said. "That's my mistake. Let me correct it." For a moment, the room was silent. Then his manager nodded. "No problem. Thanks for catching it." And just like that, the meeting moved on. No one laughed. No one judged him. No one thought he was a failure. The world didn't end. For the first time, Ethan realized something surprising. The pressure he'd been carrying for years wasn't coming from everyone else. Most of it was coming from himself. That small moment changed the way he lived. He stopped pretending to know everything. When he didn't understand something, he asked questions. When he needed help, he asked for it. When he made mistakes, he owned them instead of hiding them. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Being authentic always does. But something unexpected happened. People began trusting him more. His coworkers came to him because they knew he'd give an honest answer instead of trying to impress them. His friendships became deeper because he stopped pretending everything was okay all the time. Even his family noticed the difference. "You seem lighter," his mother told him one day. She was right. When you stop trying to wear a mask every day, life becomes a little easier to carry. Months later, Ethan received a promotion. Ironically, it happened after he stopped trying so hard to appear perfect. During the conversation, his manager explained why. "We know you don't have every answer," she said, "but people trust you. You admit mistakes, you solve problems, and you're real. That's the kind of person people want to follow." Ethan smiled. Years earlier, those words would have confused him. Now they made perfect sense. We often believe our flaws are the very things holding us back. We think we need to be more attractive, more confident, more successful, more intelligent, more accomplished. Only then will we deserve respect. Only then will we deserve happiness. But real life doesn't work that way. Think about the people you admire most. Is it because they're perfect, or is it because they're genuine? The teacher who admitted they didn't know every answer. The parent who apologized after making a mistake. The friend who was honest about struggling instead of pretending everything was fine. Those are the people we remember, not because they never failed, but because they showed us what courage really looks like. Authenticity isn't about celebrating your flaws or refusing to grow. It's about accepting that growth begins with honesty. You can improve yourself without pretending to be someone else. You can chase success without losing your identity. You can make mistakes without believing they define your worth. Because perfection is impossible, authenticity is achievable, and authenticity creates something perfection never can: connection, trust, peace. So if you've been waiting until you're confident enough, successful enough, perfect enough to start living the life you want, stop waiting. Speak up even if your voice shakes. Apply for the opportunity even if you're not the most qualified. Admit your mistakes. Ask your questions. Be yourself even when it feels uncomfortable. Because the world doesn't need another perfect person, it needs more real people. And the greatest gift you'll ever give yourself isn't becoming flawless. It's finally realizing that you never had to be. The moment you stop chasing perfection is often the moment you begin becoming the person you were always meant to be.